Tonight, investigators update on New York's Potter's Field. It is the largest taxpayer-funded cemetery in the world, yet public access is severely restricted. And those trying to identify whether a missing loved one is buried there still face a bureaucratic maze. Jim Hoffer joins us now with much more on this.
Well, Bill and Liz, nearly 8 years ago, our investigation showed how families struggled to determine whether a missing child or parent was buried in Potter's Field. Promises were made back then to ease the search, but a recent check reveals it still remains a confusing and painful process.
My daughter Denise has been missing nearly 2 years now.
In a 2001 Eyewitness News investigation, we went undercover with a mother as she tried to navigate the city bureaucracy to determine whether her missing teenage daughter had been buried here on Hart Island, New York's Potter's Field.
You won't find anything here. You won't find anything here, ma'am.
In response to our investigation, then Mayor Giuliani called for better public access to the city's burial records.
They should have access to the records.
Flash ahead nearly 8 years and listen to Sean Sheridan's struggle to find where his father is buried.
I'm an adoptee. I spent 20 years looking for my father, and ultimately it's taken me here.
Here to Potter's Field, where an estimated 800,000 poor or unidentified people have been buried. Among them, Sean Sheridan's father. Recently, Sean and his brother, with help from the Department of Correction, which operates the city cemetery, got limited access to the usually closed island.
It's as close as I can get to pay my respects.
The end of a long bureaucratic struggle.
I had several conversations with the ME's office and Vital Statistics and the burial desk and the municipal archives, and even to this day in my case, there's no burial record of my father.
Every week, filmmaker Melinda Hunt gets several emails from someone seeking help in finding whether a loved one is buried on Hart Island.
How do I go to Hart Island? How do I have closure and pray for my sister when I cannot enter?
In the process of making a documentary about Potter's Field, Hunt has become an expert in unraveling the red tape of the city burial records. She says not much has changed since our investigation nearly 8 years ago.
The public has a right to know where somebody is after they're dead. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to have obituaries in the newspapers and things like that. It's not confidential information where someone is buried.
She's filed a Freedom of Information request for all the burial records since 1985, nearly 50,000 names, which she wants to make public through her Hart Island website. She's still waiting for those documents, but the Department of Correction hints that it might finally be ready to make its burial records more accessible.
The department maintains records for burials on Hart Island for perhaps the last 30 years. And those are the records that we think we can make more accessible to the public so that they can at least look for individuals that they're interested in.
It hasn't happened yet, and while it is too late for Sean Sheridan, making the burial records more open could help many others still looking for their loved ones.
It should be a lot easier. This process should be a lot easier.
It's very powerful to find your relative's name on a list of burials. It confirms for you where that person is.
As one family we spoke to put it, this is the city's cemetery. We should be able to know who is there. Now, if you have something you need investigated, please give our tip line a call at 877-TIP-NEWS. You may also email us at the.investigators@abc.com. Bill and Liz, the city cemetery's been around since the end of the Civil War. Many people are saying, let's open up these burial records, make them more accessible.
With all the work people put into finding a place to bury their loved ones, and now these poor people can't find them.
Yeah.
Just horrible. Very sad.
Families.
Thanks, Jim.
Jim, thank you very much. We're going to shift gears.